Good afternoon. Today is Friday, December 18th. Just going for a little walk today. We're going to try to go up Stewart Mountain. We're over here in Tonto National Forest. I've actually just parked right over here at the intersection of Butcher Jones Road and Bush Highway. It's right outside a recreation area. There's many places to park. There's a couple different recreational parking lots. I just chose to just park right on the side of the road. But yeah, we're going up Stewart Mountain. It's right behind these two bumps on the other side of that valley wash there. And should be a pretty good day. I think it's only gonna be about 2.5 miles round trip, but we'll see. The plan right now is to just head straight up that wash, straight down the middle of the middle of those two peaks there to hit that saddle between those two. And then we'll have a better view of where we're going after that. Looks like we're just coming across what is shown on the map as a road, but as you can see, it's not anything that's actually a road. So if you're looking at the map, don't plan on being able to park out here or drive up here. But you can see also there's this fence line, and I've actually just been following this fence more or less, and I think I'm going to follow this. I don't know if it curves up when we get to the wash, but I'm going to keep following this fence roughly until we get to the wash, which actually should be pretty soon. I should be able to be walking up to this center wash here, coming off that saddle pretty quickly, and then we'll just head straight up the wash on these rocks. We're now following what looks like to be an old roadbed. It's pretty flat and well graded, but it looks like it's actually heading straight for that wash. So you can see that wash and that saddle is straight ahead of us. So we'll continue on this path until just ahead when we start a little bit of rock hopping below the wash and then up that wash to the saddle. We're about halfway up to the saddle right now, and we've got a really nice view of Saguaro Lake, just a little bit over the shoulder of one of the sub peaks of Stewart Mountain. And then beyond the lake, I don't know if you can catch it on this, but I got a really good view of Weaver's Needle over in the Superstitions as well. Here's a quick look back down at the road we were parked on. Not sure if you can pick out my truck in the distance there either, but it's still down there. That's good to know. We're almost to the saddle. On this one, we've actually just been hanging left of the wash. I know I said I was going to follow the wash up, but so far it's really been pretty straightforward. I think a little better just to stay on this left bank, this southern bank of the wash, because the wash looks like it's a little deep and a little steep at some points. So we've just been tracking this left side of the wash for now. And since we're so close to the saddle, I think we'll probably stick on this route for the remainder of this ascent. All right, so as we got up a little higher, it kept getting a little bushier and bushier over down the left side of the wash. So with only about 100 feet left to go to the saddle, I've actually just hopped over into the wash and just doing a little bit of rock hopping up here. It's a little less clean, or a little cleaner. The rocks are kind of big, but nothing too difficult and pretty manageable as far as rock hopping is concerned. But we're almost to the saddle, as you can see here, and we'll get a better look at the summit once we get up there. Cool, we made it to the saddle. We've got a fantastic view straight across the way to 4 peaks. I can still see my pickup straight ahead as well, right down the wash at the intersection with that road down there. And now we have our first view of the summit. It looks like we're actually just a few hundred feet shy of the summit now. Sorry for the poor lighting with the sun right behind that mountain right there. But I think from here, it'll just be straight up that little hill. It looks like it's gonna be a little bit bushy, but hopefully we can dodge the cacti as best as possible. But next stop should be the summit. All right, we've made it to the summit here of Stewart Mountain. And I'll have to say, this is probably one of the best low elevation views I've ever had. The view back here of the gold fields, we have Saguaro Lake there where the Salt River is dammed up. And then here to the west we have McDowell Peak and the McDowells and the rest of the usuries. This view is simply stunning. I'm incredibly impressed. We've also got a really nice front row seat to Four Peaks over there. And we can see further up into the Mazatals, Mount Ord right there in the foreground. These are the two little bumps where we came up through the saddle. And you can see the saddle just down there in between those two. Straight across the way we have some sort of man-made installation. I'm not sure if you can pick those out between the rest of the other brown things on that sub-peak over there. And I'm not sure what it is. It looks kind of like a billboard, but maybe I'll look up from the road when I get back down there and do a little research. But if you guys know, if any of you know, feel free to leave a comment down below. And I'll give you a few more seconds to enjoy this fantastic view of the Goldfields, Sohora Lake, and the Superstitions in the distance. We've made it back down just below the saddle, back into the wash, and we've got a fantastic view of Four Peaks right now with the sun setting on them, just giving that nice pink purple glow, reminiscent of how it looks on the Arizona license plate. Alright, we're almost back to the car now. Not quite there yet, but as usual, I'm cutting it pretty close to daylight here, so I thought I'd give my summary really quick before you can't see me anymore. You can see behind me is the saddle. That was our destination on the way up before. We're coming down to the right of the wash now. It's been a really fun trip. It's gonna end up being about 2.5 miles round trip up to Stewart Mountain. The views up there were fantastic. As I mentioned before, some of the best low elevation views that I've seen, with the Goldfields back there, Sohora Lake, Four Peaks in the distance, and then that sunset over Four Peaks was also pretty amazing. Stewart Peak is at an elevation of 2,988 feet and has a prominence of 988 feet. Overall, really fun trip, and as usual, love to thank all the people that have made this possible. All the previous trip reports on Peakbagger, there were only a handful this time, but again, as usual, they were useful. Maps, as usual, are useful. Finding a nice, easy way up, least steep way up. And then, of course, the original stewards of this land. We're near the Fort McDowell Reservation now, and that puts these lands as the ancestral lands of Yavapai Apache. Have a wonderful night, everybody. I've just hopped into the wash, and now I'm just rock hopping. And I'll redo that scene since I just fell.